Hi and welcome to another edition of Prepper Dan. Today it's springtime and it's a beautiful day, and we're going to talk about these pesky little weeds that pop up all over the property. These are known as dandelions, and you probably have them all over your place as well. But are they really a pesky weed? Well, I beg to differ. Somebody has said one time there's no such thing as a weed, it's just a misplaced plant. We're going to explore all of the benefits of these wonderful little flowers. Maybe you've heard it said that in the month of May, it's no mow May. Now I live on the East Coast, and some of you that may be on the West Coast, you've probably had to mow your lawn already several times because it's a little bit warmer out there. Well, parts of the West out west anyhow. But here in the East, we're almost at the end of May, and I've held off mowing my lawn already. My neighbors have mowed theirs already twice, but there's a lot of benefits to these little flowers, and I want to explore that with you. Maybe by the end of this short video, you'll understand why we let these little guys grow, and you may learn something very interesting. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of these little flowers, and we'll learn a few things. Now you can see in some of our paths here, we have these dandelions growing absolutely everywhere, in every little nook, cranny, and crack. And these things will grow under any really growing condition, in the shade and in the sun. Here you even see them growing in the driveway. Really hard-packed gravel. I mean, this is somewhere that we literally drive every single day. And once these are done with their pretty yellow flowers, they like to spread around by sharing their little seeds. The winds just pick these up, and it doesn't take them long before they spread their beautiful natural beauty. Now, pulling them from some places, such as hillsides and that, where it doesn't really matter if they grow or not, is fairly easy. If you grab the whole bottom of the clump securely and then just kind of wiggle it, loose soil, shake it out, and then you get the whole root system as well. In this case, not so much of a root on this one, but yeah, these are fairly small roots on this one. But on some of them, you get a nice big fat root. These ones just have little roots, but a lot of good eating in this particular package right here. And there's nothing like a little treat for the bunnies. They'll eat the flowers first, probably. Yep, there they go. A real salad delicacy for all the bunnies. Officially known as Taraxacum officinale, when this little flower appears, signifies a sure sign of spring. The word dandelion means lion's tooth, probably a reference to its jagged leaves. It's a common plant in the grasslands and the cultivated grounds. It's native to Eurasia, but it's been naturalized in all parts of the northern hemisphere, right through to USDA Zone 3. Now, most people are less than enchanted when these little flowers appear. Oftentimes, they're more numerous than the grass alone in most home lawns. But this plant is actually cultivated in some places and used for both food and herbal remedies. The dandelion is a short-lived perennial that'll grow just about anywhere, regardless of the soil conditions. But rich soil will improve its growth. These plants withstand frost and freezes, and they will tolerate crowding. Heat and insufficient moisture will cause the leaves to get bitter, but it won't kill the plant. The lance-shaped leaves grow in a rosette emerging early in the spring from the crown, and individual leaves may be entire or lobed, with the toothed lobes anywhere from shallowly to deeply incised. You'll often find different lobe patterns that may occur in the same plant. Now, these rosette of leaves can be a food plant for the caterpillars in some butterfly and moth species. The stem contains milky latex sap, and it's important to note that if you are allergic to latex, you should probably avoid this flower. The flowers are utilized by bees and other pollinators and can be an important nectar source early in the season when few other flowers are blooming. And that's why most people like to just leave the flowers alone in the month of May. The flowers are followed by the distinctive globe-shaped seed heads, and each has a pappus, a feathery parachute of soft white hairs that makes it easily carried by the wind. Did you know that each plant can produce up to 20,000 viable seeds? How many of us remember just blowing on these when we were children? Dandelions can also reproduce vegetatively from pieces of taproot, with the upper sections of the root having greater viability. The deep taproot grows up to 3 feet long, and that's why they are so resilient. But usually, they're only about 6 to 12 inches long. Regardless of which part you intend to eat, make sure the dandelions have not been treated with chemicals. Wash them thoroughly to remove all soil and insects from the underside of the leaves or roots. Keep in mind that the young plants, especially the leaves, are not as bitter as the older plants. The leaves are high in calcium, potassium, and iron, and as I just mentioned, they're best tasting when they are tender. Now you can cook these in some olive oil and a little bit of garlic, and they will taste much better. The roots can be eaten as any vegetable. They have a turnip-like flavor if dug early in the spring. Be cautious of ingesting too many roots, as they are reported to be both a diuretic and a laxative. The blossoms also can be eaten fresh, and they're sweetest when picked early in the season. They should be used immediately after picking because the flowers will close up quickly. I won't get into too many details here, but I do want to tell you about the nutritional value of these dandelions. So let me get to you point by point here. Number one, these dandelions are highly nutritious. From root to flower, the plants are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Vitamins such as A, C, and K. They also contain vitamin E, folate, and small amounts of other vitamins like B. The dandelion greens provide several minerals, including iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. The dandelion root is rich in carbohydrate inulin, a type of soluble fiber that's found in plants that support the growth and maintenance of healthy gut bacteria in your digestive tract. The dandelion root is often dried and made into tea, but you can heat it whole like any other root vegetables. We're going to talk about dandelion tea in just a few minutes. Second, the plant contains potent antioxidants. Dandelion contains compounds that neutralize the free radicals. Third, dandelions may help fight inflammation. Now, inflammation is a natural immune system response to injury or infection. However, long-term inflammation may permanently damage body tissues and your DNA. Fourth, dandelions may aid in blood sugar management. Number 5, they may reduce cholesterol and triglyceride levels. And some compounds in dandelion may decrease triglyceride and cholesterol levels, which are key factors in heart disease. Number 6, may lower blood pressure because these little flowers are also a diuretic. Number 7, they promote liver health. Number 8, they may aid in weight loss. Number 9, they may have anti-cancer effects. Number 10, they may support healthy digestion and treat constipation. Number 11, they may boost immune health. Number 12, they may be a useful skincare treatment. Number 13, because of their high level of calcium and vitamin K, they may support healthy bones. Now the dosage in supplement forms here, there's not been a whole lot of study in human forms. However, it's suggested that for fresh and dry leaves, 4 to 10 grams a day. A leaf tincture, about 2 to 5 mils 3 times per day. Fluid extract, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, 1 to 2 teaspoons or 5 to 10 mils a day. Fresh roots, 2 to 8 grams a day. And a dried powder, which you can purchase, 250 to 1,000 milligrams 4 times per day. So how do you make a herbal tea with dandelion extract? Well, it's very simple. You steep about 1 tablespoon of the stems or the flowers for 30 minutes in about 5 ounces of boiling water. You strain the roots and flowers and you drink them up with your tea. This recipe can be doubled or tripled if you plan on making several days worth of tea. You can add a little bit of honey just to sweeten it up a little bit. And some people even add a little bit of turmeric to the brew. Additionally, you can try roasting the root of your dandelion plant to make a coffee-like beverage. So here's how you do it. You clean up the root, you chop it up in a food processor, use a baking sheet and roast the pieces in an oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. Then you let it steep in boiling water for about 10 minutes before drinking. So what about the dandelion root? Well, what is it good for? We're going to talk about making a dandelion root tincture in just a moment. But some of the benefits include stomach, digestion, and gastrointestinal issues, constipation, liver detoxification, acne, eczema, high cholesterol, heartburn, various disorders, diabetes, cancer, and joint stiffness. That kind of gives you an idea why the pharmaceutical companies and the big pharmas really want you to eradicate it off your lawns and off of our properties, right? So what is a tincture? Well, a tincture is a method for extracting and preserving the medicinal constituents of herbs in a solvent other than water. Now, the most popular thing to use is 80 proof alcohol, or you can use vinegar such as apple cider vinegar or glycerin. But alcohol is an excellent solvent to use because it works so well to extract the widest range of plant properties and allows for the easy absorption of its healing compounds into the body. So the easiest way to make a tincture is to get yourself a small jar, a pint jar, and you fill the dandelion root 2/3 full of the way of finely chopped roots. Then you would pour enough high-proof alcohol, vodka is the most common one to use, over the herbs until the alcohol level is about 1 inch above the top of the herbs. Now, if you're using dry herbs, they may also absorb the liquid, so you got to check to make sure that the alcohol is still covering the roots about a day or so later. Cover the lid tightly and place a jar in a dark cupboard and allow to soak for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, for the first week or so, you'll want to shake that jar or tip it upside down at least once a day. Make sure the roots are still covered with alcohol, and if not, you may need to add alcohol. After 4 to 6 weeks, you want to strain your liquid from the roots, and to strain, you can pour your liquid through a fine mesh sieve into another wide-mouthed jar or through a cheesecloth. But if you're using a cheesecloth, you'll want to squeeze the liquid out. Allow the liquid to settle overnight, strain again if necessary, transfer into a labeled amber bottles, and store in a dark place. Now that you have your tincture, for maintaining general health, you would use half a teaspoon twice daily. For acute skin eruptions, you would add 10 drops in water frequently throughout the day. For arthritis, gout, eczema, psoriasis, and liver trouble, 1 teaspoon 3 times a day in water. Or for indigestion, you would use 10 drops in water every hour until resolved. Now you can also use a tincture or make a tincture using just the flowers, and it would be the same process. Keep in mind, if some people want to stay away from the alcohol, or if you want to make a tincture for children, that apple cider vinegar is a good alternative to use for making your tinctures. So I hope you found this little video about the mighty dandelion informative and instructive. You know, you may find that there's many other plants in your backyard that you may consider invasive, maybe even as weeds. But I want to challenge you to do some research on a lot of these plants, because when our medical system was taken over quite a few decades ago, this was our medicine. And now we've got Big Pharma making a lot of medications out of products that really aren't good for you. A lot of products are made out of petroleum-based medications. We've got cancers now that never existed before. And I want you to know that you can help heal yourself, you can help take care of yourself by doing a little bit of research. And I may make a few more videos like this just about what's in our backyard, because I know that right here on our property, we've got a few acres here in Cape Breton in Nova Scotia, there's a lot of good medicinal things that we can just harvest ourselves and either dry, dehydrate, or make tinctures out of, and make teas out of. And so this is all trying to just inform you and educate you. So I hope you found this fun and informative, and I hope you have a new appreciation for this pretty little yellow flower. And by the way, this is my favorite color. It's a very bright and joyful color, and it just brings, I don't know, it just brings joy to your soul when you have something this bright. And that's just a little tidbit. So thanks for being with us today on this other edition of Prepper Dan, and we hope to catch you in the next one. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.